I can recall the moment that I received the original Modern Warfare. After a long day of middle school classes, I had eagerly anticipated staying up all night playing with friends. You see, I'd been playing Medal of Honor Airborne ever since I got my Xbox 360, and the multiplayer for this game looked like nothing I'd ever seen before. Back in 2007, I didn't know the game I was playing from the moment I got off the bus to the third time I got yelled at for cursing at strangers on the internet was as influential as it was. I took it for granted. Modern Warfare ended up being my gold standard for the amount of fun I was meant to have in all multiplayer games. More than 10 years later, Call of Duty Modern Warfare is hoping to be revered in the same way.
John.
Roswell.
Where are you?
Occupied.
I've got a problem.
Russians?
Word travels fast. Chemical weapons have fallen into terrorist hands. They could be anywhere. Paris, New York.
London.
When can you brief?
We just did.
Call of Duty Modern Warfare features a campaign that's meant to transport you back to when Call of Duty campaigns were about actual warfare, and a multiplayer redesign that frees the game from its cyclical pattern of unlocks and prestiges. Call of Duty Modern Warfare gets a good amount right, but some trespasses are harder to forgive. To begin, the title card when you start up the game shows you just how serious the game wants you to take it. While it wasn't the unadulterated and overly serious story the media made it out to be, the game has emotionally weighty moments that create a more realistic depiction of the horrors of war. After the cut to black and the title card, the game's first mission immediately made me feel like an actual operator. Yes, the US has insane airstrike capabilities, and yes, they like to blow shit up. This presentation was the first sign that the game was beyond any other shooter I'd played before in terms of graphics. In later missions, like the one that was shown at preview events where you're storming a townhouse in the UK that is housing terrorists, it is clear that your side is the more well-funded one. When you're operating in that military gray area, where you're not supposed to be at war with another country, your access to these resources are limited. All this is to say that Modern Warfare is far removed from the previous arcade entries in the series. The game tries and succeeds to be some degree of woke, but while it initially inhibits a moral gray area, it starts to paint with broader strokes as the story goes on. The campaign tapers off in the third act, but despite my interest in the story taking a hit, the single-player map design is shown the entire time. It felt challenging on every difficulty, not because the enemies could see you through walls, but because the level design was amazing. The final mission of the game stood out especially. This excellent level design is sadly absent from the game's multiplayer. Seriously, some of these maps are so bad that I'd instead take the loss and quit out rather than play them. For whatever reason, spawns are humorously bad on some maps, and in a series as old of Call of Duty, I cannot understand how they haven't refined how players spawn in 2019. Search and Destroy on St. Petrograd, for example, seems like it wasn't even playtested. Attackers can plant the bomb at the A site before defenders can even arrive. It's sad too, because the gunplay itself feels like a new standard for the series. Guns have more than 50 attachments each, and you can equip 5 on every weapon, making custom loadouts feel personal and interesting. There are some quirks. The M4A1 has the best accuracy in its class to a fault in what seems to be an overlooked bug. This means you literally cannot play a single round without finding half the enemy team using them. These are some of the kinds of issues I know can be addressed in balance patches and updates, but the same can't be said for maps on which I'm playing. The longer I play these maps, the less fun I have each time. For a game that's meant to be a multiplayer fixture for at least a year, I can't imagine I'll be playing these maps in 3 months. But hopefully, I'm still playing Gunfight.
What kind of dirty work?
Punishment. For fighting
Men
back.
on the work line! Women to the trucks!
This is where we split up. We'll meet inside of
Back to work! That's close!
that main.
Call of Duty Modern Warfare is a game you should buy just for the single player alone. The multiplayer mechanics feel amazing, like someone hit the refresh button for the franchise, but it is employing these mechanics on a less than perfect pool of maps that will likely not last you the year. I'm in my 20s now and work a full-time job, but I think this game understands that. The original secret formula has yet to be deciphered, but what they've ended up with here still feels like the best Call of Duty game I've played for the better half of the past decade. For Noisy Pixel, I'm Noah Butner.